front. Boxed heat pumps, sponsors of weather on GB News.
Imagine getting the call to tell you that you've won. Good luck.
Headliners. Tomorrow's papers tonight, every night from 11 p.m.
The Daily Mail now, Josh, and pub landlords have to worry about more than the optics when it comes to offensive banter,
Yeah,
it
this
seems.
is a really big story and important. Pub landlords could have to become banter cops to stop themselves being sued by staff offended by comments from customers under workers' rights reform. So, Labour, when they were part of their election process, they were like, we're going to reform workers' rights, and that all sounds good on paper, but there were issues in terms of how might it affect employees and fear from employees costing them more money. One of these things that they're sort of pushing through, though, is that in the Equality Act of 2010, part of the issue was that if you were offended at work or someone said something sexist or racist, something that affected you, the employer had to take some sort of, like, they had three chances to kind of take action.
Yeah.
Now, the employer has to should have taken action already. So employees can sue employers. Now, this has a big impact on us because we're comics and we perform in venues. And if some of the bar staff hear a joke that they don't like, then they can sue their employer, potentially, under this legislation.
So it's not punters?
Well, also, it could be like you're at a bar and some bloke is like, oh, I like that top, or whatever. That's not good behaviour. But the point is now that employee could sue their employer.
So, because, I mean, the sort of scenario I was imagining was that a barmaid was being maybe sexually harassed or
That's
something.
what they're focusing on in this article, but other articles have gone down the free speech route.
Okay.
And also venues and universities having lectures. We saw it at, in Edinburgh Fringe Festival and Sadowitz. He had a show cancelled not because of any punters, but because two of the 18-year-olds were working. They were upset.
There was a bar in Brighton, wasn't there? There was a story we covered a few weeks ago. A bar in Brighton threw some people out because...
exactly. They had turfs on the...
turfs. Yeah.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Well, good morning and a very Merry Christmas to you.
Yes, a Merry Christmas and welcome to a special GB News Christmas breakfast.
Well, have you been dreaming of a white Christmas? Sadly, the Met Office has dashed some of those dreams today, but I'm not giving up hope. I think somewhere in the UK we'll see some snow.
You're the only one, I think. Over 7 billion presents have already been delivered, 300,000 kilometres travelled. We'll be tracking the rest of Father Christmas's journey as he finishes delivering presents across North America.
The King is going to break with tradition later today. You can watch this live on GB News a bit later on because he's going to be doing his annual Christmas message from a former hospital chapel.
Yes, not a royal residence. And the Princess of Wales, she delivers a message of togetherness alongside her family after what's been a pretty tough year. That was during her Christmas carol service.
And have you been busy in the kitchen this morning? Well, one Christmas dessert is on the brink of extinction, but can you guess which one it is?
And from the turkey to the puddings to even the Brussels sprouts, we're going to have all the top tips on how to make sure your Christmas dinner hits the right spot.
Oh, I am so hungry now.
Yum, yum, yum.
I am so hungry now.
A little bit of that.
It's a season of giving, though, and we are a generous lot here in Britain, especially GB News viewers and listeners, by the way. We're going to be donating, apparently, about £1 billion worth of stuff this Christmas season alone. So we'll be looking at how to help those in need this Christmas.
Yes, and of course, life does not stop on the farm on Christmas Day. We're going to check in on how farmers are celebrating Christmas after what's been a pretty rough couple of months.
A very Merry Christmas from the sports desk here at GB News. Mwah. We'll be taking a look back on some of the highlights and lowlights of the sporting year that was 2024, the second half of which has been an absolute train wreck for Premier League champions Manchester City. There's also a big day of Boxing Day racing. Join me later.
Oh, I look forward to that.
Well, it might not be a white Christmas this year, but it should be an all-right Christmas as far as the weather's concerned, particularly if you're heading outside for a walk. I'll have the full details coming up soon in the forecast.
Well, it's just gone 9 o'clock. I'm Patrick Christie's.
And I'm Emily Carver, and this is GB News Christmas Breakfast.
All right, just as a little call out, please remember to send in some of your pictures to gbviews@gbnews.com. Has Santa been to your house yet? In fact, we can track where he is, I think. So
oh, can we now?
He's,
yes, we can.
whereabouts is he now? He's currently over the Pacific. and was last spotted in Alaska.
OK, he's making tracks.
So the children of Alaska have had their deliveries. He must...
Sarah Palin, was she from Alaska?
I believe she was from Alaska, yeah. I think she'll probably be on the nice list.
Only person I know from Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you?
No, I don't know one.
But, so Santa's over the Pacific as we speak now. I hope he's been round to yours. I'm sure he has. Make sure that you send us some pictures of what your house is looking like.
You know what? A lot of people are sending in, or at least a few are sending in their Bailey's recipes. Mary says, I make Bailey's fudge, as well as having it on the rocks. And also in hot chocolate. Well, there you go, Bailey's fan there, Mary. I hope you're enjoying some today. And she also says Bailey's over ice cream. Actually, I think it's just you, Mary, who's sending in your recipes. It's just Mary.
Oh, well.
Mary, I hope you enjoy it. I've actually got a couple of little tiny ones that I might try.
Yes. There we go. All right, OK, so back down to earth with a bit of a bump, really, because just because it's Christmas Day, the news doesn't stop, I'm afraid, and certainly not when it comes to what's going on in the English Channel, because we have had a load of small boat arrivals on Christmas Day. This is the breaking news. More than 100 have arrived today alone in Dover Harbour. At least 4 more migrant boats are apparently currently in the Channel, with others expected over the coming hours.
Yeah, it's only 9 o'clock in the morning. Well, this comes after GB News exclusively revealed yesterday that thousands of migrants were amassing along the northern coast of France, preparing to cross to the UK over the Christmas period. Mark White is here for us now. Mark, a very Merry Christmas to you. But you've got a report from us from the Channel.
Merry Christmas to you both. Yes, it's like those socks from your auntie, isn't it, on Christmas Day? The Christmas present nobody wants, but we have hundreds of migrants en route now across the English Channel to the UK. 110 arrived just before 5 a.m. this morning. You're looking at GB News exclusive images in the darkness there. That is the Border Force vessel Volunteer coming into Dover Harbour very shortly, about to unload 110 migrants. And another Border Force vessel, Hurricane, as we speak, has just picked up 1 boatload full of migrants and has been tasked to go to another boatload. We're told that in about the next half an hour it's due into Dover Harbour, probably with at least 110, 120 migrants on board as well. In addition to that, at least 2 to 3 other boats out in the Channel at the moment. Border Force had estimated about 350 out in the Channel. That's not including, of course, the 110 who've already arrived here. We, as you alluded to in your introduction, were in France yesterday filming the thousands who were massing on the coast of northern France, preparing for that illegal journey across to the UK, because we've got about 5 or 6 days of good weather conditions after some pretty horrific weather for more than a week now that prevented any crossings from taking place. So they've been all piling up, and now they're ready to come across in very significant numbers.
Yeah, indeed. And today, of all days, Mark, it doesn't stop, does it? Just because it's Christmas. So and it doesn't appear that anything Keir Starmer has said about smashing the gangs is having an impact on the people who actually want to come here, does it?
No, I mean, to be fair, I think any endeavour to go after the criminal gangs is not going to be a short sort of endeavour. It's going to be quite protracted in length, because you need to go after these criminal networks, try to dismantle them, dismantle some of them at source, and that's going to take some considerable time, potentially many months, if not years. And all the while, they're going to be coming across in very significant numbers, and the pressure will pile on. So Keir Starmer. So not good. As I say, we're expecting potentially 2,000 or so in the Channel. As I hand back to you, I should just say, though, Border Force have just called me, an urgent call. They're asking if we could send Charlie Rowley down to the White Cliffs of Dover with his various costumes. They reckon that if he can't scare them off, then no one's going to scare them off.
Charlie, the GB News scarecrow.
Oh, brilliant. I can picture him there. Can you imagine They're going across in the boats.
No, please don't.
Charlie Rowley's dressed as a Christmas cracker. The boat stopped turning around. No, we don't want to go to whatever hellhole this is.
Let's send Dean McGee while we're at it.
Yeah.
Just for fun. Just to get rid of him. I'm joking.
Oh, I'm desperately offering them soup. Brilliant. Mark, look, thank you very, very much. Great to see you, and happy Christmas to you again, my good man. So we'll see you soon. You'll keep keeping us updated on everything in the
Mark's
channel.
in a funny mood, isn't he?
He is.
The jokes.
The jokes keep coming.
I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
It must be Christmas, yes.
Oh, indeed. Well,
so are you thinking about dessert yet?
I'm thinking about also. I'll tell you what, actually.
Pudding.
To be honest with you, I was feeling a little bit under the weather this morning, first thing, and I was like, oh no, here we go.
Possibly because you had about 2 hours sleep.
Possibly. And then over the course of my appetite has come. I've already had a smoked salmon croissant. We've had Ada McGee's soup. And I cannot wait for what your mum's going to be cooking for us.
Mrs. Carver's dinner.
Yeah, top din.
She's watching. She's probably thinking, well, you'll get what you're given.
But what will be for dessert?
I actually don't know. I don't know. And we're not that, big dessert people.
No. Well, the reason I'm asking all of
You've got
this...
a cheese board, don't you?
Of course, yeah. The reason why I'm asking all of this, though, is because there is a traditional Christmas staple that might be about to go out the window.
Yeah, and Anna Riley's going to explain which.
Christmas pudding. It's a traditional dessert staple on Christmas Day. And here at Farmer Copley's in Yorkshire, it's made and matured months ahead of the big day.
It's full of fruit, a stout, spices. They're the main three ingredients. But the traditional pudding's got to have 13 ingredients.
Harry Knox, as governor of Chelsea Hospital, took first stir at the Christmas pudding, and after that they all joined in.
Despite its heritage, our love for Christmas pud is lacking. The Royal Mint found 6 in 10 people surveyed snub the festive classic. But at this farm shop, there's been no downturn in sales of the sweet.
It's such an iconic part of Christmas. I think the pudding will always be there, although we're seeing a lot of Generation Z and the millennials. They're always going for something a bit quirky, so a twist. That's sort of their ownership of the Christmas pudding. So that's where we're seeing some traditional flavours, but I think most people will still be going for a Christmas pudding. Even if they buy it and they don't eat it on Christmas Day, they'll be eating it on Boxing Day.
The people of Pontefract told us which dessert they took into on Christmas Day.
Well, it's Christmas pudding and brandy sauce.
I'm not really a big fan of Christmas pudding, the traditional one. I get a bit of few mucky looks for having profiteroles around the Christmas dinner table because everyone else has Christmas pudding.
Chocolate gatto and double cream, and then we'll have a Christmas chocolate log.
I'm not keen on Christmas pudding. I prefer the trifle and the cheesecake.
Proper Christmas pudding with brandy sauce.
Could the Christmas classic really become a thing of the past?
No.
Well, the proof is in the pudding. Anna Riley, GB News.
Profiteroles that young chap was going to have.
Yeah?
Pudding.
I like a profiterole.
Yeah, well, I know you like a profiterole, but on Christmas?
Ali.
Are there any rules anymore?
Ali,
I was listening to someone talking about how you only keep traditions if you put work into it.
Mm.
People are saying, oh, young people aren't even having turkey. Some people even have like a curry on Christmas. If you don't actually make an effort to continue traditions, then they just cease to exist. And isn't that sad?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm just learning a bit there about the sheer effort that goes into making an actual Christmas pudding.
Oh, there's a lot of effort. And
huge
a
amount of
cake
effort
as well.
I like the fact that you set it on fire, though. That's the
best bit, yeah.
That's the bit. That's the spectacular bit, isn't it? Really. But there we go. Well,
And
anyway,
it can go wrong.
It can go wrong. It can go quite badly wrong.
I remember I set my hair alight on a candle over a Christmas dinner table.
Really?
Yeah, it makes a horrible smell.
Yeah, it does really. But
Anyway, I can tell you more about that later.
You've clearly bounced back.
Yes, I got enough.
All right, look, it's time now for the Great British Giveaway. It's the biggest one we've ever done, actually. You can win £50,000 in tax-free cash. What a time of year to do it. And here is how all of that money could be yours.
It's our festive treat to you. Your chance to win an incredible £50,000 in tax-free cash. Our biggest ever Great British Giveaway. What would you spend £50,000 on in the coming year? Spectacular holidays? A brand new car? Home improvements? Or maybe you'd just like to save it for a special occasion? £50,000 is an amazing amount of money, and it could be all yours. For another chance to win, text cash to 63232. One entry costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63232. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start from just £2. You can call 0903 681 3232. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB10 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 6 p.m. on the 31st of January. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Well, there you go, £50,000 of cash. We're going to be back in a tick, but first, it is your weather update.
A nice bright morning will generate a lovely warm day, right through to the evening. Boxed Solar, sponsors of weather on GB News.
Hello, a very Merry Christmas to you. It might not be the Christmas weather many people have been asking for, but it's not going to be too bad. It's mild, yes, and it's mostly cloudy, but there'll be some brighter spells coming along into the afternoon. And actually, for most, it's a dry day, so if you're planning a Christmas Day walk, it's looking reasonable, certainly across the southern half of the country. That's where the brightest skies will be. A better chance of cloud breaks compared with yesterday, especially for the Midlands, East and Southern England. Further north, again, a lot of cloud, a strong wind and outbreaks of rain for the northwest of Scotland. But it's mild everywhere, 12, 13, perhaps even 14 Celsius. And then as we go into the evening, we keep the cloudy skies. We keep the outbreaks of rain going across the northwest of Scotland. In fact, they become a little heavier for a time. The wind picks up a little strength as well. Still some cloud breaks to be had across the northeast of Scotland, particularly Aberdeenshire. And the cloud thinning at times for Northern Ireland, as well as the east and central parts of England. But for most, it's a cloudy end to the day. Effectively, very little change in the weather throughout the next day or so. Overnight, though, we do see this area of rain sink a little further south into central Scotland, approaching Northern Ireland and the central belt by dawn on Boxing Day. Ahead of that, some clear spells further south and a few fog patches by dawn as well. But overall, it's another cloudy and relatively mild night. So we start Boxing Day with low cloud, mist, some fog patches. We'll also start the day with outbreaks of rain for much of Scotland, particularly towards western areas, and increasingly Northern Ireland. A few spots of rain coming into North Wales as well, but still some cloud breaks, still some brighter weather there for the Midlands into eastern parts of England. It's another mild day, but it's not quite as mild as Christmas Day. Highs of 9, 10, 11 Celsius. Bye-bye.
We'll see a cold snap, which will quickly develop into a warm front. Boxed Boiler Repairs, sponsors of weather on GB News.
OK, well, this is a surprise. OK, so
to all of us.
To all of us, because
good one.
Well, I hope so. Anyway, we haven't seen it yet. But Anne Diamond is on holiday, and she's reached out and sent us, I think, sent a video in. I think she sent a Christmas message for all of the viewers and listeners.
Oh well, let's have a watch then.
Hello, good morning, and a happy, happy Christmas to everybody watching, all our lovely viewers, particularly to Patrick and Emily, who are really putting in some hours this morning. And congratulations, what an amazing time for Olivia Utley and family with the new baby. Came right on time, actually. So congratulations all. I'm here on a beach in Cyprus, and as you can see, it's very blowy, but pretty dramatic. All the local people here come down to take a dip in the sea on Christmas Day. They say the sea retains its warmth from the long hot summer, but I'm not convinced, so I'm not going in. But friends and family are. So from me and Diamond, on a beach in Cyprus, with these amazing waves. Happy, happy Christmas. Have a wonderful time.
Oh,
lovely.
Thank you, Anne. And happy Christmas to you as well.
There.
Lovely, wasn't it? Just to echo, this is apparently this is Anne's family frolicking in the sea.
Frolicking,
good
yes,
for them.
Having a lovely time. That probably is a little bit chilly this time of year. Although, you know, it's warmish, isn't it?
People will be going wild. Oh, there they are. Hello.
Waving at us.
Well, people will be going wild swimming, won't they? I mean, I've got a friend, my best mate lives up in Aberdeen, if you're watching, Anthony, hello, and he goes swimming in the sea. And at freezing temperatures, freezing, first thing in the morning.
Yeah,
must be
I'll
mad.
never understand that, Anthony.
Must be mad. But yes, well, there we go. And just to echo what Anne said there about Olivia Utley.
Yes.
Congratulations. And this is Olivia Utley and her husband, Mike, and their newborn baby son, Wilfred.
Yeah, Wilfie for short, so cute.
Well, there
Such a nice name, isn't it? And that little jumper that Wilfie's wearing, the little cardigan there, was knitted by Olivia's mother, I think. Nice little gift. A little corduroy trousers, already a fashionista.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, congratulations, Olivia and Mike, and little baby Wilfred. It's a fantastic Christmas present.
Do you know what? I'm so glad that he came early, because the due date was Christmas Day, came on the 23rd, just in time for Christmas. Wouldn't be much fun going into labour on Christmas Day.
Oh, no.
You know.
Oh.
Just about to tuck into the turkey. Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Oh, well,
That'd be a bit Bridget Jones, wouldn't it?
it probably would be, but yeah, many congratulations, Olivia, and hopefully we can maybe get baby Wilfred actually on the telly soon.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Perhaps it's a little soon.
Yeah, I did politely suggest to her yesterday that maybe he could make his TV debut today. She did not respond, so I think she's probably a bit tired.
It's probably fair enough. Yeah. I think it is actually quite an ordeal, you know, giving birth.
It looks
the whole
it.
becoming a mum thing.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Well, we've still got loads on the show, haven't we? And the pressures of achieving that perfect Christmas party can sometimes get to us all, but
don't we know it?
Oh yeah. But we are going to give you some tips on how to make it a little bit less stressful.
Oh, but first, here's a question for you, another one. How many reindeer does Santa have? OK, we've got to get this one.
All right.
Is it A, 9, is it B, 8, or C, 10? And again, bonus points if you can name them all.
Yes. And keep sending in your pictures, please, of your Christmas houses and the presents that you've received. You can go to GB Views at gbnews.com.
Oh, yes. Has anyone received something from... well, we'll find out after the break. Stay with us.
All right.
This is Britain's Newsroom, where your voice matters.
It's just astonishing. With expert analysis and honest opinion, we don't just keep you informed.
We bring you unique perspectives you won't see anywhere else.
Can't argue with any of that. When the news happens, it happens here.
On Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 a.m.
Only on GB News.
Sunday with Michael Portillo from 11, only on GB News.
Penelope's, which is situated in the sophisticated Hotel Armano in Covent Garden, delivers punchy dishes from the executive chef, Fez Ozalgan. London-born, she's of Turkish Cypriot heritage, and at the tender age of 16, she enrolled at catering college. So, lovely to see you, Fez. Welcome to the programme.
Thank you.
So you're now in a very prestigious position. I'm always impressed that in the world of chefing, it's possible to get very senior positions quite young if you're good enough. Talent is rewarded, is it not?
Definitely, yeah. It does take a lot of hard work, for sure. But, yes.
When did you know that you wanted to be a chef?
Honestly, because my parents have a cafe in Barking. And I used to go there when I was younger, in school holidays and weekends to help them. And actually, I'll be honest, I just used to really admire everyone calling my dad chef, and that's what I wanted.
And what about your food inspirations? Because I believe the food that you produce now is what? Mediterranean influence and also to some extent Middle East influence?
Yep, and Spanish as well at Penelope's, yeah. So our concept at Penelope's, our CEO, Ariel, he is Israeli, but he grew up in Marbella. So, yeah.
These are the great influences.
Yeah.
What have you brought here today?
OK, so we have our sea bream tartare, which is a really good inspiration of both Spanish and Israeli. It's marinated with harissa, and it's served with a really nice gazpacho sauce, caviar on top.
I wonder whether the camera can see that. It is the most gorgeous coloured sauce on top of my sea bream tartare. That's marvellous.
GB News, the People's Channel.
If you want your news to be straight talking,
This is a nightmare for the Conservatives again.
down to earth,
It's not just Nottingham where this is happening, is it?
and most importantly, honest,
Hard-working, middle-class taxpayers, they'll get the brick thrown at them.
then catch me, Martin Daubney, Monday to Friday, 3 till 6 p.m. on GB News, Britain's news channel.
In the GB Newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK, we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News, the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
Okay, 9:22 is the time. I think most people should be up by now.
Well, there you go. You've been told. You've been told. You need to get up and about. That Bucks Fizz isn't going to make itself.
Don't go out for a morning walk just yet. You can stick around to 11, I reckon.
Yeah, or of course, if you do decide to go out, you can take us with you by downloading an app, probably,
or listening on the radio.
Listening on the radio. Yes. Anyway, before the break, we asked you, how many reindeer does Santa have? Is it A, 9? Oh, well, we've just told you. It's 9. There you go. There goes the mystery.
Everyone knew the answer anyway. And for those bonus points, so I'm hoping you've got the list in front of you that you've written down at home. The 9 are Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen and Rudolph. Rudolph is the one everyone remembers.
Rudolph's
Why? Because he had
a big red nose. Yeah. Rudolph's the glory hunter, I think. Really, the others do a job. You know, he's the kind of Cristiano Ronaldo of the piece, and everyone else is just makes up the numbers.
Sort of like when the man of the house decides that they will contribute to the Christmas dinner by carving the turkey.
Oh, I see. Yeah, or making the gravy.
Or something sort of
basic.
Yeah, but that gets a lot of attention.
Right.
You know, like setting fire to the Christmas pudding.
Yeah.
Or cutting up the turkey, carving the turkey.
But in reality...
Or maybe like cracking open the first bottle of fizz.
Yeah.
You know, something like that.
Something that draws the eye, but in reality, it's you
Very
who's doing
little,
all the
and
work.
requires little to no thought.
Yeah, it's getting a bit too close to home, this, isn't it? So let's just whiz ourselves on, because the pressure of entertaining at Christmas can get to the best of us, especially if it's your first time hosting. So here we go.
Yeah, from the turkey to the Yorkshire puddings. Well, that's controversial, actually, Yorkshire puddings. Do they belong on a Christmas dinner? Even Brussels sprouts. It's easy to get it all wrong.
Let's get more on this now with Diana Mather, who joins us from Sussex. Diana, great to have you on the show. Thank you very much. And I believe that you're going to give our viewers and listeners some tips about how they can take the stress out of Christmas. Is that right?
It is, yes. And I'm in my son's house with my 6 grandchildren. There are 11 of us here. So we actually really do sort of sort out the jobs. My job, because I'm not the greatest cook in the world, is setting the table and clearing the table and emptying the dishwasher. So I think if everyone has a clear role, that's very good. But the main thing is do try and prepare in advance. Because if you leave everything till the last minute, which I have done in the past, getting to bed at 4 o'clock, being woken up at 5 by the children, it doesn't make for the most stress-free Christmas day. So try and prepare in advance, think what you're having and make it easy. You don't have to go to great lengths. People just want to enjoy the day. And it is only one day. So if you make it, oh my God, it's got to be absolutely perfect, then you're giving yourself stress. Everybody wants to have fun on Christmas Day. So make sure you've got everything you need, that you've got, you know, when you're going to start drinking, so that you don't drink too much, perhaps, by the time you eat. Get the turkey in time, and just, as I say, give everyone a little job to do. It could be peeling the sprouts, it could be peeling the potatoes, which actually we did yesterday, and we prepared a lot of the stuff yesterday because so many of us here, we've had to do it in advance, quite a lot. And so this morning, actually, we're having people for drinks, and we don't have that much to do before lunch, which we won't have till after the King's speech.
Oh, so you've made it as easy as you can, really, for yourselves today. Got a lot of that prep out of the way. So what do you do, Diana, if things go a bit tits up? Something goes wrong. Well, you burn the potatoes. Oh,
yes.
Something like that.
If I'm ever using pine nuts, I always burn them. I don't know what it is. I can have my watch timer on. I can be sitting. I still burn the thing. So at Christmas, I don't use pine nuts. But if it does, just laugh about it. You know, have something. If something goes really, really wrong, have something in reserve. I don't know. Have something from cook in the freezer so that you actually can produce a Christmas dinner. But on the whole, turkey's pretty easy. It's likely to be underdone rather than overdone, and it's quite a big bird if you're having a turkey. If you're having a joint of any kind, it's not so easy to burn it. But watch the vegetables, because I have burnt sprouts dry before now, and then the smell is terrible as well as the sprout.
Oh, yeah, OK. I mean, it's just such an ensemble of goodness, isn't it, the traditional Christmas dinner? I suppose the timing of it is quite interesting. So in your house, you don't have it until after the King's speech. Has it always been that way? Is that something that you've taken through from your own childhood, or what's the thinking behind that?
Absolutely. Of course, it was the Queen's speech then. But yes, we always have done. So we have a brunch, sort of scrambled eggs and smoked salmon and possibly a glass of butt spears. I hope so. I don't know what my children are opening at the moment. And then we'll go through and then have a few more snacks and then have the big lunch, which then does us dinner as well, because that'll carry you right through at that time. And it depends if people go to church, and it depends whether they go to another family for tea in the afternoon as to what time you have your lunch, I think.
People sometimes complain. You sometimes complain that I have a bit of selective hearing.
Yes.
But I can always hear the sound of a cork being popped wherever it is in the house. Diana, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and enjoy the King's...
Thank you very much. Happy Christmas to everybody watching.
Oh, bless you.
Delightful.
Have a lovely Christmas, Diana. Thank you for giving up a bit of time on Christmas morning for us. Well, I've been told that we've got some absolutely cracking pictures to show you very shortly that our viewers and listeners have been sending in. So you can go to gbviews@gbnews.com. Get those pictures coming in. We want to see whether or not Santa's been, or see how your cooking preparations going on, all of that stuff.
Animals,
that's what we want.
Trees.
Animals, the whole
landscapes.
thing. You name it, we want to see it. But before all of that, it's time ferrets. People have been sending in pictures of their ferrets. It's time for another treat, though, isn't it? And here is the Vocal Zone Voice Studio Choir from South Derbyshire with Once in Royal David City.
Once in Royal David City stood a lonely cattle shed, where a mother laid her baby in a manger for his bed. Mary was that mother, but Jesus
was lovely, wasn't it? Once in Royal David City there. It's a classic.
Yeah, it's a classic. It's a particularly beautiful one, actually. But speaking of beautiful things, we've been sent lots of pictures this morning.
We have.
Hopefully of beautiful things.
There we go.
Oh, yes.
This is Val in Warwick. And that's the table being set there nice and early. Well done, Val. Thank you for that. Who else?
Yes, well done. Well done. Tony has sent this through. Well, that looks cosy, doesn't it? Wooden cabin.
Oh,
got a bit of a log burner by the looks of things over there. Obviously, us on telly.
Either that or he lives in a giant sauna.
Sauna, yeah.
Susan in Weybridge sent us in this picture. Thank you very much, Susan. Lovely
nice big screen, excellent stuff. Susan from Weybridge sent this one in.
Stephen is in Germany.
Oh, is this Stephen?
This is Stephen in Germany. I bet you're having a nice time there in Germany, Stephen. Thank you very much for watching us, even when you're abroad. So have we got any?
You might live there, you know.
You might.
Mark and Alex from the Isle of Man, they've sent this one through. Oh, they've got a tree Zempic situation here. Don't know if you read an article, but there's a trend for skinny trees, and it's being called the tree Zempic trend, because obviously Ozempic, tree, it's a play on words.
Yes, it's very modern, isn't it?
Yes.
Very modern, that. Oh, who's this now? Paul and Jacqueline from Ipswich in Suffolk have sent this through. Thank you very much. Happy Christmas to all of you.
People are keeping the lighting dim, aren't they? You know,
Yes.
waking up slowly.
Oh, that's nice.
James and Fergal from Glasgow have sent their living room. Nice high ceilings.
Nice high ceilings
Is that an
there.
elf there or a Santa on the side?
It could be.
One or the other.
I think we've got one more, have we? We've got Dylan and Nydia, all the way from Australia, have sent this through.
Oh, so it's night time over there. 9:30, maybe?
I always wonder what it's like in Australia, because it'll be summer, won't it? So, and then you've got all these Christmas trees knocking around in like 40-degree heat and
I wouldn't mind trying it out, seeing what it's like.
Seeing what it's
Australia,
like.
the Caribbean.
Yes, I don't think I've ever Christmased abroad. I don't know, but yes, I've always kept it here. This is our fourth.
I've been in the mountains, but not in a hot location.
No. Well, look, thank you very much, everybody, for sending all of those things in. It really is wonderful to, to see inside your Christmas
I know,
homes.
we're very nosy, actually.
Very nosy.
Nosy this Christmas. Like to see your setup.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for tuning in and keep them coming. If yours hasn't been shown yet, well, it might in the next hour or so.
It's always a chance. Well, still to come, Aidan McGee will be here with all of your Christmas Day sport. And this is GB News Breakfast, the Christmas edition with Patrick and Emily.
GB News Breakfast, every day from 6 a.m.
Donna Ida, who joins us now. And Donna, you look spectacular in your gorgeous denim jumpsuit and accessories. And it's important, isn't it, sometimes, just to keep things simple?
I always keep things simple. I travel a lot, I work long hours, and I don't want to think too much about what I'm wearing. So for me, one and done is perfect. Good accessories, fresh hair, nice makeup, and you can go anywhere, including GB News when you didn't know what was happening.
There we go. Welcome. Can we ask you some of our top denim questions? Yes. Because Stephen Dixon, the presenter of the breakfast show who's just on, said that double denim to him is absolute no-go.
Oh, what is
that true?
Don't have him on against me.
Okay. We're telling us
I love double denim.
Really?
I love it. I think it is so cool.
Is it actually a different tone?
I was going to say double denim, same colour.
I like the for me, I actually do like the same. Think Saint Laurent 70s. There's an amazing one that we're doing. It's going to look great on you.
Oh, really?
This season, Jean, we've got the City Slicker shirt. Oh, it's amazing. If it's done well, it's perfect. And I like it in a paler blue, but a good mid to dark. Very chic.
Yeah, you go.
No, well, I was just thinking, little old me, not quite sure what to wear this morning. How do guys pull off denim?
For me, if I was dressing you, I would have put you in a pair of jeans this morning with this amazing jumper. Gorgeous watch.
Black, blue?
Black denim I do like. Men don't like it so much. Men like charcoal denim.
Oh, I don't like grey.
Charcoal. I love grey, and the best seller for men is charcoal denim.
GB News, the People's Channel.
I'm Christopher Hope. From pop stars to politicians, I'll interview anybody in a pub who's got a political opinion. Join me every Friday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube or gbnews.com, or wherever you get your podcasts. This is GB News, the People's Channel.
We're proud to be GB News, the People's Channel. And as you know, we always love to hear your views. Now, there's a new way of getting in touch with us at gbnews.com/yoursay. By commenting, you can be part of a live conversation and join our GB News community. You can even talk to me, Bev Turner, or any of the members of the GB News family.
In the GB Newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK, we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News, the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
Welcome back. Very Merry Christmas, everybody. We hope you're having a wonderful start to your Christmas day. It's time... Oh, go on.
Yeah, it's time for the sports, yes. But Aidan is a bit confusing because he is wearing a chef's hat.
Sorry,
yes,
I haven't had a
you're here
chance
to talk about sports.
I haven't managed to derobe. I do apologise. But I'll keep it on. That's what we did last
Do you
year.
know what? That soup was very good, and I will just say that a few people have now been in touch asking for the recipe, so you must
I will
put it online.
I promise I will. I've been overburdened with sport. You know how it is. It's Boxing Day. It's always Boxing Day tomorrow. Big programme of racing, which we're going to discuss, and the Premier League as well. So I will get round. I will get round to the soup.
Okay, I just don't want to let down all these people.
No, they won't. They won't. I don't let anybody down, least of all our viewers. But yeah, let's talk about the horse racing today. Full card of horse racing across the country. Such a big staple of the festive sports season as well. Big meetings at Aintree, Wetherby, at Wolverhampton. We've got the King George VI Chase over at Kempton Park. Now, 11 runners there. That's a flat race. Racing has had a bit of criticism in the last few years, come under more pressure from animal rights activists as well, particularly the hunt season or the hunt race. This is at flat racing tomorrow. Spillane Tower will lead the field. That will be my tip, and that's trained by Jimmy Mangan for JP McManus, ridden by Mark Walsh. Underway. That's the sort of the stellar race of the events at Kempton Park at 2:30 tomorrow. So that's going to be outstanding. Are you a betting man at all?
No, well, no, not really. I'm just not really very good at it. I don't like just burning money.
That's what I mean. If you've got you have a little bit of knowledge, haven't you? You can't, otherwise you're just throwing mud at the wall, hoping some of it will stick.
Yes.
But,
I feel like the Grand National, and that's it.
Yeah, and even then, it's done in a sweepstake or whatever, isn't it? I mean, I won on party politics in 1992 just because there was a general election.
I've done
3
some
days
politics,
later.
actually. That's true. Trump and Brexit, I got.
Oh, did you? Oh, right, yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry, betting on... I thought you meant horse racing, sorry. But, oh, yeah, I understand, yeah, I get what you mean. Huge day of Premier League football tomorrow as well. We've got Manchester City v Everton. What they try to do on the fixtures on Boxing Day is minimise the travelling for the supporters. But it's difficult to do. It's easier said than done. I mean, if you're... Bournemouth v Crystal Palace is a southern game, but goodness me, if you've got to go drive down there from Crystal Palace all the way down to the south coast, it's not exactly an easy journey. Same for, example, Southampton and West Ham. Similar journey from East London, or Essex rather, where most West Ham fans live, down to Southampton. But nonetheless, a really good... we've got Chelsea v Fulham, that's not too far away, like 2 miles apart, so that's OK. And we've got Newcastle Aston Villa, which will be a decent game as well, I'm sure. And I want to talk a bit about darts, if possible.
Of course.
Because, you know, it was already a big event, particularly the World Championships. I was there on Sunday. We'll have some pictures in a moment, I think, of me just in hospitality, enjoying some of the food. Oh, yeah, that's on the hockey. That's a jockey on the hockey. I won't say what type of jockey. That's the table. Look at that. I mean, wait to see the food, though. Michelin star stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the programme. And then it was an Indian menu, and there it is there by a guy called Atul Kokla, who is a Michelin star chef. I got this all for free, by the way.
Oh, look at that.
That's a beef fillet curry with lentil sauce, and that is I can't remember what that was, but it was really nice.
Wow.
Free champagne and everything.
I can't make out what that is.
It was
a bit of seafood or something.
Yes, it was. It was lobster. It was prawns as well. And something else. Look,
darts, because to be honest with you, most of the people who play darts look like they only eat kebabs.
Yes, exactly. Well, most of them do. But no, that's not right. I mean, look, it's interesting because Luke Littler's this phenomenon, this teenage sensation. They've been watching his development since he was 7. And what enabled him to come through the system was the creation of this thing called the JDC, the Junior Darts Corporation. Previously, players only came through the pub system, when it isn't even a system, it's just people going to the pub. So that means that if you can't really start playing darts until you're able to go into a pub. So somebody at the darts, maybe 10 years ago, felt we've got to set up a system where we can get players in younger, otherwise we're going to lose them to other sports like snooker.
Yeah. Littler, because his love life was all over the front pages because of his success in the darts. Therefore, everyone needs to know how many girlfriends he's got. And he was only, what, how old?
17? He's 17 now. He'll be 18 very soon because it resumes on the 27th. I think he's I know he does. He's from Warrington. He's from Warrington, isn't he? Yeah, he does look a little bit older. Luke the Nuke, his name is, and he's one of the favourites for this year. But I saw a great. I mean, as an event, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I used to cover it at the Circus Tavern over in Essex about 20 odd years ago, and they said they were moving it to the Ali Pali, which is 6,000. So if we go from 600 to 6,000, I said you're going to lose the pub atmosphere.
Wow.
If you do that. I said that to Barry Hearn. I was completely wrong. I could see this in a stadium in future. That's how big it's become. The demand for tickets was up 83% year on year. Just because of the phenomenon that is Luke Littler.
Good stuff. Well, look, Aidan, thank you very much, as ever. We're going to whiz ourselves back to Christo Foufas now, who's been joining us throughout the course of this show. Thank you very much, Christo. And you're pulling things out of your sack again.
I am once again, yes. I mean, you know, it's being emptied hourly at the moment. However, there is still some left, and for anyone who hasn't been watching, where have you been? We've been pulling out a present which relates to a story from the year. Now, this isn't a present. It's more, well, it's a bit of just tatty wrapping paper left over. And look at this ribbon that's all broken. What on earth story could this relate to? Think of Christmas and misery. Think of Christmas just falling a bit flat. Imagine it just being a bit limp.
Yeah.
What do you think that could relate to?
No sparkle this year.
Yeah, or just a really, really grim Christmas event. A joyless Christmas event. I wonder...
Joyless.
Can I guess?
Yes?
Keir Starmer's speech.
Nearly the Christmas lights switch on of Downing Street. Surely one of the year's most joyless events, and I think, are we able to
I hope so.
remind ourselves of that?
Can we play a clip of it? I think we've got it.
It's just coming,
It's just coming. This is where he did...
Will you please join me when I say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1... Yay! It worked. Nervous moment there.
So was that for Christmas?
That was for
goodness me.
Christmas.
So Christo, I think you said that you've never seen such a joyless...
I'd never seen such a joyless event in my life. How do you make a Christmas light switch on seem to be full of so much misery and how do you make a countdown have no anticipation whatsoever? It's unbelievable. So I have to give him credit for that one.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that Lady Starmer didn't look like she particularly wanted to be there, actually.
I know. Why would that be?
I know. She was just stood there. I just thought it's like, he's dragging me to the Christmas light switch on again, isn't he, now?
Under duress.
Under duress, yes. Anyway, OK.
It could be something that you look forward to, you know, if your husband gave it a bit of oomph.
A bit of welly.
A bit of stardust. You know, maybe play a carol in the background.
Stardust.
Yes, indeed. Well, your story selection has been absolutely spot on so far,
Absolutely spot on.
Thank you. And
enjoyed it. Fantastic.
Have we got a little time left?
Yeah.
I just thought as well, and I'll give this to you.
Brilliant.
It's your Christmas card. Now, I haven't written it yet, but I didn't know whether anyone would have to look at it, because we make it every year. Myself and my partner make this card every year, a different one. And this one is... I don't know if we can see it
I think we might be able to bring it up on the screen. There we go.
There
we go.
Terrific.
Now, I don't know if you could see, we've got... unto us a Chancellor is born, because you can see it's who we've called the little baby Revis. And it's a lovely scene of all the cabinet. And, if you look down there in the corner, you can see Lord Arley with a couple of shopping bags there. And, of course, it's not a Chancellor. We think it might be someone in customer service or someone who works in complaints. And then over there, Jerry Clarkson saying, well, she's certainly not a farmer. And then David Lammy musing on the fact that he can't grow a cervix.
Brilliant. Look at that.
Very good, Christo.
Merry
you know
Christmas.
what? Fantastic Christmas cards. A little bit of politics, but why not? There you go.
Brilliant.
Right, Christo, we're going to say goodbye for now.
Goodbye. Merry Christmas to you.
Have a very Merry
Thank
Christmas.
you for having me.
Good to see you, Christo.
See you in a bit, Aidan
Indeed.
McGee. But still to come, we're going to have some festive cheer with Matthew Laza and Reem Ibrahim. But first, let's take a quick look at the weather.
Ready to soak up that holiday sunshine?
Won't we need some cover?
No worries. All sorted.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Boxing Day across Europe looks very mixed. Windy in Italy, unsettled in Greece and Cyprus, mostly fine for Spain and the Canaries, but for Madeira we do have some showery rain and a strong wind blowing through here. A strong wind also for Gibraltar on Boxing Day, but otherwise sunny skies across Spain and Portugal. Windy for Italy. That wind is easing as this area of low pressure moves through. That's going to continue to bring heavy downpours and thunderstorms for Greece and Cyprus.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Sunday with Michael Portillo from 11, only on GB News.
Restaurant St. Bart's executive head chef Johnny Crowe creates ramen with a British twist, using only the finest UK-sourced produce. As the only restaurant in London to hold both a Michelin star and a green Michelin star, St. Bart's emphasises sustainability and the diversity of British ingredients. Johnny joins me now. Johnny, congratulations on having these 2 Michelins. How do you get a Michelin green star?
Well, probably a better question for the inspectors, but I mean, I think it's down to a lot of hard work.
What hoops do you have to go through?
So I think it's working every day on it. The sustainability isn't something that you just achieve and then therefore you have it and you can sort of relax. It's about every day trying to be better, trying to make a restaurant and a business that is overly sustainable.
So what things do you do to make it sustainable?
So one of the main things that we've really tried to do is focusing on British produce, and actually, you know, part of that is about sustainability and food miles. A massive part of it for us was also about sort of helping the British economy and the farming economy and our fisheries as well. But yeah, no, the idea...
I have a lot of farms near St. Bart's, which is in the heart of the City of London.
Well, funnily enough, there's an amazing collective called Shrub Provisions who we use a hell of a lot, who work with farmers all around East Sussex. So it makes a difference from flying it in from Kenya or somewhere else like that. But no, like a big part of it was, one, using British produce to cut down on food miles, but also helping sustain our farming industry.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Join me, Camilla Tominey, for a frank and honest discussion with those in power that cuts through the spin and gets to the heart of the issues shaping our nation.
You haven't confirmed that you want to stand as leader, but you haven't ruled it out either.
This report basically says that he's not fit to stand trial. Is he indecisive? Incompetent?
I deliver the dose of reality Westminster needs. That's the Camilla Tominey Show at 9:30 every Sunday on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
It's Patrick Christie's Tonight, and here we do things differently. It's explaining the absolute madness of this, doesn't it? It's explosive. I mean, this is very good. It's lively.
850. Your government sat there, Sean, and it did nothing.
It's controversial. And the Middle East has been in turmoil since before I was born. It's everything you need to kickstart your evening. Everyone's had their Weetabix tonight. I love to see it. That's Patrick Christie's Tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel. Welcome back and very Merry Christmas to you. And we've got some special guests in the studio here. And
yes, we've swapped out Charlie Rowley and Benjamin Butterworth.
We have. He's run out of costume changes. Unless he's managed to do another one that's really realistic, and he's just turned up as Matthew Larser. There we go. Your former Labour advisor Matthew Larser is here, and communications manager at the Institute of Economic Affairs, Reem Ibrahim, as well. Both of you, thank you very much.
It sounds very serious, doesn't it? And GB News regulars.
GB News regulars. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you all and to everybody at home.
Although we do have an economic story to kick us off, don't we, Reem?
We do.
Because apparently people are charging their family. What's going on?
We do. So this is a story
story in the Daily Star. So Abby Richards, who is a 35-year-old mum, is charging her family £25 a head for Christmas dinner. So apparently it was her family's idea, it wasn't hers, and they all said they were going to chip in. But this year, she's decided to save up all of the receipts and actually charge each family member £25 per person, and that includes breakfast, lunch and dinner on Christmas.
That's quite reasonable.
That's a decent deal.
I think that, yeah, it's...
I'm sorry, Matthew. We're actually going to speak to Michelle Dewberry.
Oh.
She's zooming in.
Good morning,
Michelle
Michelle.
Dewberry is here for us. Oh, excellent stuff.
Hey.
Merry Christmas. Oh, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
Well, how can I be anything else other than fantastic? I've got my books fizz.
Excellent.
I'm not as glamorous as you guys in the studio, I've got to say. I'm looking on at you all in envy, especially Reem and Emily. Look at you. I'm still in my pyjamas. I know that is very lazy. I accept that.
Yeah, but you look great, Michelle. You look great.
Fantastic. So what's the order of events in your house then? Have you done presents already?
Well, so Santa's been. So, you know, we've got a lot of excited children. We've also had a couple of empty boxes. I've divided opinion with this. You guys and the viewers can tell me what you think. My little boy was a little bit naughty, and Santa wrote a letter in an empty box for him.
No.
And many people think that Santa shouldn't have done that. So we've had a few disagreements, shall we say, about whether or not empty boxes for naughty children is a done thing. But I trust Santa's judgment. Santa knows what he's doing. Santa followed through. And
Michelle, did Santa bring any presents?
Santa did bring presents because my boy was very good overall, but we just had a few wobbly behaviour moments. Santa knows. So any children that's watching this, when your mummy and daddy tells you that Santa is watching, they really mean it, you know, so you've got to be ever so careful.
He does watch everything. Can't miss a trick.
Fantastic. Well done, Michelle. That is really good stuff. Really good stuff.
I've not got any presents yet, though, I have to say.
Oh.
I'm waiting patiently for mine. Santa's not been to me yet.
Oh.
It's a disgrace.
Well, give it time. We're going to be swapping some presents on the show shortly. So anyway, Michelle, just to say a very Merry Christmas to you and your family, and thank you for popping up and saying hello to us. It was a really nice surprise, this.
Yeah, really nice surprise.
Can I likewise say Merry Christmas to each and every single GB News viewer as well? We appreciate every single one of them, and 2025 is going to be fabulous, isn't it? So. All together, we will have a wonderful year. And tell Matt Lauser as well. I love his tinsel.
Okay, all right, we will.
We love
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you.
Michelle.
Take care.
I'm not sure where the tinsel is.
Yeah, I think it's coming out the back of my head, isn't it? But I have got... So I can't compete with Charlie, but I thought, you know, I'd be a little bit serious. It's the parliamentary Christmas jumper.
Really?
So it's got the Lords and the Commons logos on.
Right, well, we have to ask you, do you think Santa was right to, you know, make a little note of bad behaviour?
Well, I'm wondering if Michelle's on the naughty list if she's not had a present yet. I mean, you know, I'm saying nothing.
What happened to a lump of coal? I thought that was the tradition if you're on the naughty list.
We're not allowed coal anymore.
Why not?
Because we look after our carbon emissions.
It's not compliant with net zero, therefore...
How would you even... I mean, that's it. All serious. How would you even buy a lump of coal now? I mean, there's so few coal fires. It's not the coalmen coming round, you know, round every house at Christmas.
Around a steam train.
So I can't believe she did that. So she's left a note.
No, Santa has.
Santa did, yes.
Santa's left a...
I think it's really clever. I think it's good to discipline your children using various methods.
Obviously, Santa was doing it.
It was all Santa.
Yes.
But it is true that Santa sees all. Sees absolutely everything. And last time we saw Santa, he was over Nevada.
He was
over the,
San Francisco, or the Pacific Ocean, actually.
On his way to Silicon Valley.
In Ukraine for a bit,
do we have time for one more comment on the fact that Christmas carol services can reduce your stress, apparently?
They do reduce your stress. So apparently there are a couple of studies that show that it actually physically changes you. And there are the kind of psychological effects of Christmas carols because there is the religious aspect to it. And, of course, they transform your mind. So if you've got an anxiety, any stress,
I completely disagree with this because I went to...
it's because you're woke.
No, it's because I went to a Christmas carol service. I took a friend of mine who's moved here from Poland.
And you felt stressed.
He wanted to go to an Anglican service, never been to, obviously lots of Catholic ones. But we went to St Paul's, and it was one of the Christmas carol services you have to go in the ballots, which opened 6 months before, and see if you get a ticket. But this one was open doors. So the queue... and you didn't know whether you were going to get in, so we spent 45 minutes in the queue. We're thinking, will we get in? Will we get in? And we run out of seats.
Matthew Laza, Reem Ibrahim will be coming back to you very shortly for more Making the News. But this is GB News Breakfast with me, Emily, and of course Patrick Christie's. Stick with us.
Imagine getting the call to tell you that you've won £50,000 in tax-free cash, our biggest cash prize of the year.
Oh my God.
Luck.
I'm Nana Acquia. This is GB News, Britain's news channel.
GB News Breakfast, every day from 6 a.m.
The way in which children are being driven online because we're not taking them seriously offline. And what we're tending to do is seeing the problems entirely on the social media, forgetting the fact that we've given up on children being able to work independently and play independently outdoors. We've basically created a world where the digital bedroom has become this go-to area for a lot of young kids. We've given up on old-fashioned parenting, where we try to cultivate their resilience. And now we blame everything, all the problems that occur online. You have to remember that if you take something like bullying, bullying doesn't have to only take place online. It happens all the time, offline, in everyday life. But yet we only see the problem on the social media, and there's this obsession with the social media where every single problem that afflicts childhood is blamed on it. And that distracts us from actually understanding what we're doing wrong with children. So for me, and I hate when I see children with digital technology, when I see them with smartphones. I'm not a fan. I'm much more concerned about the fact that parents use their digital phones when they're having dinner with their kids and giving very bad examples in relation to that. But the real problem, it seems to me, is offline, and that's why we got to crack the issue. So for me, the banning issue is entirely a headline-grabbing political gambit. And I think that we should be much more focused on the real problems rather than delude ourselves that anything will improve.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Good morning and a very, very Merry Christmas to you.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to a very special GB News Christmas breakfast.
Well, I was dreaming of a white Christmas, but sadly I'm going to have to keep dreaming because the Met Office is saying that actually it's just going to be a bit grey and cloudy instead, but I'm clinging to hope.
You might not even need a coat.
Yeah.
It's that warm. But over 8 billion presents already been delivered, 300,000 kilometres travelled. Yes, we are tracking the rest of Father Christmas's journey as he finishes delivering presents around the world.
And the King is set to break with tradition later today. Make sure that you catch this on GB News at I think it's 3 p.m. I could be wrong. Anyway, he's going to be delivering his annual Christmas message from a former hospital chapel.
He is indeed. And the Princess of Wales, she delivers a message of togetherness alongside her family. It's been a tough year, and that was during her Christmas carol service.
Are you busy in the kitchen this morning? Well, one Christmas dessert is on the brink of extinction, apparently, but will it be on your table later?
And from the turkey to the puddings to even the Brussels sprouts, we're going to bring you all the top tips on how to make sure your Christmas dinner hits the right spot.
Oh, can't wait. It's the season of giving as well, and yet again, Brits are so generous because you're expected to donate more than £1 billion this Christmas season alone. We're going to have a little look at how we can help those in need.
And of course, life does not stop at all on the farm as we check in on how our farmers are celebrating Christmas today. Are they still grafting after what's been a rough couple of months?
And if you're just joining us, a very Merry Christmas from everyone here at the GB News Sports Desk. We'll look back at an action-packed sporting year. There was glorious failure for England at the Euros, the rise of teenage sensation Luke Littler in darts, another Wimbledon title for Carlos Alcaraz, and a sack full of medals for Team GB at the Olympic and Paralympic Games in Paris. Join me later.
Well, it might not be a white Christmas this year, but it should be an all-right Christmas as far as the weather's concerned, particularly if you're heading outside for a walk. I'll have the full details coming up soon in the forecast.
Of course, this Christmas breakfast show will be nothing without you, the viewers and the listeners, and so many of you have been sending in lovely pictures of your the cooking that you're starting to do, the presents there, the trees,
Huge amounts of presents,
pets, all sorts of stuff. And you can go to gbviews@gbnews.com. That's the email address, and get them in.
Yes, please do. We want to show more. We need more. It's just gone 9 o'clock. I'm Emily Carver.
And I'm Patrick Christies, and this is a very special GB News Christmas breakfast. Let's check in on Santa, I think.
It's about time we did.
Where is he? Where's he up to now? So he's been whizzing all around the world, and he's just been to his final stop.
Final stop, really? Okay.
The Midway Atoll, a
I know it well.
major US minor outlying island.
Outlying.
Outlying, thank you, Aidan. Outlying island. I probably would have got away with that. I probably would have got away with that. To be fair, Aidan, thank you, mate.
Not the worst error we've ever made.
I'm glad you're here. So anyway, it's in the Pacific Islands, and yeah, he's heading back to the North Pole in about 10 minutes' time. So well done, Santa. Well
His
done.
job. He's been working all year.
Terrific.
Come on, Mark. Yes. There we go. Keep the Christmas spirit alive today.
Absolutely, yes. Well, we have got Mark White here with
us. Indeed, when you said we're going to check in with Santa, I thought, come on. I know I spoke about my weight issues earlier, but, you know, Patrick.
Oh, no,
yes, we're in starvation mode today, aren't we? Right. Well, Mark, you're here because you've got an exclusive for us.
Yes, sadly, more in the way of migrants coming across the English Channel. We signposted this yesterday with the news that thousands were massing along the northern French coast in the various makeshift camps there to take advantage of good weather conditions, because we've had a week of horrendous weather that's prevented any launches in the channel. Now it's going to clear up for 5 or 6 days, and they're expecting potentially 3,000 migrants to come across, and the first boatloads have already started. Just before 5 a.m. this morning, we had a boatload Border Force vessel come into Dover. You can see it there. That is, well, you can almost see it. It's very dark. That's the Border Force vessel Volunteer coming into the migrant processing centre at Dover with 110 migrants on board. So taking off, we believe, 2 small migrant boats in the middle of the channel. As we speak, another Border Force vessel, Hurricanes, in at Dover as well, unloading, we believe, at least 100 more migrants, and there are other vessels out there as well. This is the pattern we'll see now for the coming hours in the next few days, with very significant numbers.
Christmas Day is a bumper day in the channel, then?
Well, a bumper day, and indeed the migrants were, or the people smugglers were advertising Christmas discounts.
Seriously?
Yeah, to get people onto the boats before the new year. It sounds just ridiculous. But on the messaging service Telegram, one particular people smuggler was advertising a Christmas discount, 15 places left on his boat. Hurry up, effectively, and get yourself to the UK before New Year.
Discount. I mean, it does just make a mockery
and apparently
of our borders, doesn't it?
The French have not turned up to work today, is that right?
Well, that's certainly that was the situation earlier this morning. We think they've actually shown up now.
Oh, good.
But the early arrivals, these boats crossing from about 4 in the morning onwards, were being met by French lifeboats instead and escorted across. This is a controversial process that takes place in the Channel. Once these boats go offshore from the French coast, the French intervene to say, would you like to come on board our vessel and we'll take you back to France? And of course the migrants say, no thank you, we're heading on our Christmas discount across to the UK. And the French leave them because they say to intervene would potentially cause the vessel to capsize and a loss of life. So they just escort them across. But this morning seems to have been a bit too early for them on Christmas Day to come out, so they left it to the lifeboats instead. But we believe that the French Border Force vessels are out there now, as are the UK Border Force vessels.
I mean, 100 just arriving already this morning. I mean, that's enough to fill one of these hotels, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just a hotel after hotel after hotel.
And it's a very good point, Emily, actually, because under the Labour government, remember, we had all these promises before the election that we are going to end the reliance on hotels to house migrants. Well, what have they done? They've renegotiated with more hotel chains and are actually housing even more people in hotels than the Conservatives did. Because the reality, the grim reality of it, despite their words about smashing the gangs and getting to grips with this problem, is that the numbers continue to build because we've had no slowdown. In fact, 20% more people have crossed this year than crossed in the whole of last year. So it's a problem. They need to be housed somewhere, and they're being housed in a hotel near you.
Well, there we go. Well, Amar, thank you very much. You're never off the clock. So great to
you were having so much fun. I had to come in. You know, I was
I'm glad
in
you
the
did.
Homeland Security bunker earlier, but we decided I'll just come in and join you.
No, thank you.
I can't eat though because I'm on my starvation
What
diet.
is this all about? Oh, come on.
Everybody's calling me fatty, you see.
No one's calling you. Who's called you fatty?
A producer. Well, if you're producers, yes. I had a little bit of chocolate. He said, I thought you were on a starvation diet before your
You're
turkey
being
holiday.
body shamed.
You need to go on a starvation diet.
Says you do sometimes.
I need to. Or,
Yeah, you know, I've got to take my kit off again for the telly. You know, it's time not to eat.
That's you cracking the whip, though.
No. I'm lovely. I never body shame, do I?
You were still with me when I was a heifer.
Exactly. So there you go. You know, I am not superficial at all.
Which is just as well, really.
I was with you in those dark days, I remember that.
You were with me in those dark days as well. In fact, you were responsible for some of those dark days.
Working in television is that we have the evidence forever.
Oh, please. Looking back at some of the... Anyway, let's not, because people will start digging that footage out. But anyway.
Let's not go there.
All right.
You're looking great today.
Of course you are, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, Mark.
Yep, cheers.
Well, talking of looking back, very briefly, sorry to intrude for
Is this a plug?
more time. Yes, 2 o'clock today. Please tune in to the news year in review put together looking at what a momentous year it's been in terms of foreign wars, the BBC in crisis again. So some very significant stories there.
Hosted by yourself?
Hosted by myself,
Good.
At 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Good
tuning in?
stuff. Well done. Well, make sure that you keep it GB News this afternoon, because we'll also be taking the King's speech, won't we, as well, at 3 o'clock, I think. So, anyway. Right. Unfortunately, though,
correct. Yes,
not everyone is going to be able to be enjoying Christmas in the manner that we all are here, and I dare say that most of you are at home. And there's a leading charity warning that there are roughly 56,000 children who will be homeless this Christmas.
Yeah, so the government has pledged £1 billion in funding to help tackle this issue, but will it be enough?
Well, and what about the other families on the brink of poverty as well? Well, we can go now to Major Joe Moore, who is from the Salvation Army. Thank you very, very much. Great to have you on the show. Thank you for all the work that you do, of course, all throughout the year. And those figures are really quite stark. 700,000 homeless children on Christmas Day. What can people do to help?
Yeah, we found out that in the time it takes to sing Silent Night, one person is made homeless in the UK. It's quite a stark reminder that Christmas isn't easy for absolutely everybody. And we just want to get the message out there about looking after your community. Maybe people listening right now are kind of thinking, you know, what can I do to make a difference? It feels like such a huge problem, but reaching out to our neighbours, finding out what's needed, maybe go and check on an elderly person that you're worried about, or now this wonderful time of Christmas when people are feeling so generous, maybe there's something that we could all do, working together to bring some hope and some light to those who need it most.
Yeah, absolutely. And Brits are very generous by nature, I think, and we do like to give. This is the time of year where a lot of people do donate, whether it's time or money. And you know, this is a cause that no doubt people will want to help donate to. I would have thought. So what kind of stuff are you seeing people do? People can donate everything, can't they? Clothes or whatever.
Yeah, people in the British public are extraordinary, and not just at Christmas, all year round. We find that people are so generous to the Salvation Army and to other charities too. So this is maybe an opportunity for me to say thank you. Thank you to all the people who've made a difference already. Last year, we gave out 84,000 Christmas presents to struggling families who might not have otherwise had a present under the tree for their kids. 5,300 Christmas meals were served last year by the Salvation Army, and that's made possible because of the generous public that we have. So thank you so much to those who've already given.
Of course, you're the Salvation Army, but a lot of people, want to give something to charity, but they're not sure which charity to choose because there are so many out there, small and larger charities that have been around for, centuries even. How should people go about finding where their money's going to make the biggest difference?
I think find something that's close to your heart. Is it pets? Is it the dog's home? Is it a charity specifically for children? Whatever it is that kind of connects with you on an emotional level. And don't just give. Go and find out about them. Go and find out what they do, because they might really need volunteers, particularly in the new year. When it gets a bit quieter for volunteers, rather than going to the gym and losing weight. You were talking about that earlier. Why not make a new resolution to go and volunteer and make a difference in your community?
Absolutely. Well, look, thank you very much for everything that you do all year round, and thank you very much for popping up and talking to us as well on Christmas Day. I hope you have a very, very Merry Christmas and a great year ahead as well. And it'd be lovely to chat to you again over the course of the year to keep tabs on all the good that you're doing and the people that you're helping. So
yeah, thank you very much indeed.
See you soon.
OK, well, we're going to be back in a tick, but we're going to get a weather update in the meantime with Aidan.
Is it snowing?
A nice bright morning will generate a lovely warm day, right through to the evening. Boxed Solar, sponsors of weather on GB News.
Hello, a very Merry Christmas to you. It might not be the Christmas weather many people have been asking for, but it's not going to be too bad. It's mild, yes, and it's mostly cloudy, but there'll be some brighter spells coming along into the afternoon. And actually, for most, it's a dry day, so if you're planning a Christmas Day walk, it's looking reasonable, certainly across the southern half of the country. That's where the brightest skies will be. A better chance of cloud breaks compared with yesterday, especially for the Midlands, East and Southern England. Further north, again, a lot of cloud, a strong wind and outbreaks of rain for the northwest of Scotland. But it's mild everywhere, 12, 13, perhaps even 14 Celsius. And then as we go into the evening, we keep the cloudy skies. We keep the outbreaks of rain going across the northwest of Scotland. In fact, they become a little heavier for a time. The wind picks up a little strength as well. Still some cloud breaks to be had across the northeast of Scotland, particularly Aberdeenshire. And the cloud thinning at times for Northern Ireland, as well as the east and central parts of England. But for most, it's a cloudy end to the day. Effectively, very little change in the weather throughout the next day or so. Overnight, though, we do see this area of rain sink a little further south into central Scotland, approaching Northern Ireland and the central belt by dawn on Boxing Day. Ahead of that, some clear spells further south and a few fog patches by dawn as well. But overall, it's another cloudy and relatively mild night. So we start Boxing Day with low cloud, mist, some fog patches. We'll also start the day with outbreaks of rain for much of Scotland, particularly towards western areas, and increasingly Northern Ireland. A few spots of rain coming into North Wales as well, but still some cloud breaks, still some brighter weather there for the Midlands into eastern parts of England. It's another mild day, but it's not quite as mild as Christmas Day. Highs of 9, 10, 11 Celsius. Bye-bye.
We'll see a cold snap, which will quickly develop into a